All right, guys, day 10. Today is day 10. Today was a huge day because we actually started working on diving. Yeah, we added that in because up to this point, we worked on streamline, we worked on our kick, we worked on some freestyle and backstroke. But today we got into diving. And the way that I like to approach it, I take it from a very basic level and make sure, even if they know how to dive, then we all do the exact same thing to make sure that everybody's got the key components in place. All right, so bear with me through the process because it actually works. The big key that I like to emphasize is keeping your chin down. Now, why do they keep their chin down? The reason that I like to emphasize keeping the chin down is because if the chin comes up while you're trying to dive, if you let it sneak up, then actually what happens is it exposes your chest, it pulls your chest up, and a lot of times it causes a belly flop. And the big thing that I have found as far as them being scared, it's not so much that they're scared that they're gonna flop. It's the actually having their head beneath their feet. It's an awkward position. It's where they feel like they don't have any control and they're very uncomfortable. And once they can get that down, they can be comfortable with that upside down position, then everything falls into place real quick. So that's something that we worked on, was just getting just the basic motion. I don't care if they have a perfect dive on the first day. They don't have to nail a perfect streamline and a smooth entry. It's just if they can get their head beneath their feet as they're going in the water, then that's a successful day. Because once that happens, everything else starts rolling because they see that that's an okay position and they're not going to be hurt. Jordan got my last one and it hurt my feelings. Bad. I'm going to see if she gets this one. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring?
I don't know.
Pilgrims.
Oh, because the ship. That was more of like a riddle. That wasn't even a joke.
I go through a little process, and here's the process. I always put a kickboard next to the edge of the pool because, believe it or not, if the kids are just on their knees on the concrete, then it's actually a little bit painful. And that can be a big distraction while they're trying to dive. And that's one thing you don't want, is anything to be a distraction or something that's it's occupying their brain that their knees are hurting. So that just adds to the anxiety, if they're a little bit nervous about diving in the first place. So they will always put a kickboard up to the side of the pool. And they kneel on that. First one is in a kneeling position, and they have a tight streamline, and all I want them to do is just fall into the water. And the big thing with that is just trying to get that head below the feet, and hopefully they go in with the top of their head and they don't lift that head and go in with their face. The way that I try to keep that head down is by telling them to put their chin down, and with the streamline arms, I want them to lock them behind their head because it adds a little bit of security of not raising their head if it's actually locked there by their arms. If their arms are like this, then their head will slip up really easily, causing that chest to come out and then potentially a belly flop. So I always have them lock their arms behind their head, so it actually helps them out a little bit as far as keeping their head down in that position. So we start off in a kneeling position with both knees down. The next one is in one knee down on the board and the other foot, making sure that the toes are curled at the very beginning. And then they do the same thing. All they're doing is falling in at this point. There's no jumping or trying to do a competitive start. The next one is where they're standing with 2 feet. They're not in any kind of kneeling, but they keep both sets of toes curled around the edge, right? And all they're doing is just falling in. That's all they're doing. And once they can become comfortable with that, the last thing that we do is we add a small hop. Not necessarily a starting jump, but we just add a little hop. Once they become comfortable with just diving in general, everything else just falls into place. It just goes boom, 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 boom. So if they can conquer that fear, learn to trust themselves to go in with the top of their head and not with their face. If they can keep that head down one time, get up the courage, keep that head down one time to go in with the top of their head, they can do it the rest of their life. And that's the awesome thing about it, is that they only have to make themselves do it once. It's only scary once. And then after that, they're like, oh, this is awesome. And they can just do it repetitively for the rest of their life, and they don't even think twice about it. All right, so that's what we did today. We got diving under control. We had our first lesson on it, and we'll have a couple more. We'll kind of fine tune it, but today was a big success. Just about everybody was diving. I think we had one or two that are maybes in there. But other than that, everybody was diving. And we did a little bit of yardage after that. But that was it. So I hope you guys had a great practice at your team. If you have any questions or concerns, please ask. I'll always answer them as soon as I have the opportunity. If you got any jokes, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to use those on the coaches. And everybody have a great weekend. All right, guys, take care. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I know I'm having a lot of fun producing this. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out yesterday's episode. Should be right down there. If you have any questions or comments, also leave those below, and I will answer them as soon as I can.